for this deal for a long time on the chicken breast for freezer meals. Even though the Alfredo sauce is not really that expensive, although I would need 4 jars, we're going to pass because we want the real thing. We're going to start with the main ingredient, the Alfredo sauce. I am making enough Alfredo sauce for our dinner tonight and to put 3 Tuscan chicken meals in the freezer. We're going to start by getting our pan hot, and we're going to throw in our 1 cup of butter. We are going to melt the butter on a medium to low heat because we do not want to scorch the butter. We don't want to make it brown. I'm going to put the list of ingredients in the description below in a 1 serving size if anybody is just interested in 1 serving size of Alfredo. As the butter simmers away here, we are just going to get it ready, and we're going to add the 4 teaspoons of garlic. We're going to allow the garlic and the butter to simmer together for a couple of minutes just to get the garlic flavor into the butter. Next, we are going to take our flour and make a roux. We do that by dropping the flour into the butter and then mixing it together so it forms a paste. We want to make sure that we cook the butter and flour mixture for at least a couple minutes to get the starchiness out of the flour. You don't want to taste that flour in your Alfredo. You want to get all the starch out so you're not tasting any flour. This is the common way of making a white sauce. A white sauce is the old farmhouse way of making like a cream sauce, and you can add anything you want to it to create other sauces. A lot of Alfredos are made with cream instead of using the flour. But the nice part about using the flour method instead of the cream is that it is cost efficient. You save money. I find the sauce has plenty of fat and richness with all that butter, that the cream is not overly necessary, that the milk does the job just fine. And still you end up with an excellent Alfredo. Here I am about to add the milk. Now I have 8 cups here. It is important that you add the milk slow and gradual so that you end up with a nice smooth sauce and nothing lumpy. It's better to take your time here to get a nice smooth sauce than to rush the process and end up with a lumpy clump of Alfredo. Now we're going to mix in our spices, starting with the mustard. We have 2 teaspoons of mustard, and now we're going to blend that in with the sauce. Next, we're going to add in our Italian seasoning, and also we're going to add in our salt and our pepper. Okay, so we're going to give it a good mix and incorporate all the spices into our sauce. And we're going to give it a good cook. We're going to bring it up to a boil so that the flour thickens it and it becomes a nice consistency, like the consistency that you expect an Alfredo sauce to be. This is going to take at least 5 minutes. And like always, guys, don't rush this process. Keep the heat at a good medium to low because you don't want to scorch that. That has milk in it, and milk scorches very easily. So you must keep the temperature rather on the low side and don't try to speed boil this through like it's just water. It's better to be slow and consistent and have a beautiful sauce than to rush it and end up with something burnt. As our sauce starts to boil, you can see how it's thickening and how it's getting creamier and thicker. Our white sauce is done and ready for the next step. Time to add the cheese. We're going to add a Parmesan cheese. Now I bought two different kinds of cheese. I bought the regular shredded Parmesan cheese, and I also am going to use the powdered Parmesan cheese as well. I put 1 cup of each cheese in the pot. The recipe actually calls for 1 cup of cheese per recipe, so it should have 4 cups of cheese in it. But I decided that a lot of times when you're making larger batches like this, you can cut back a little bit on these more expensive things, which is what I tend to do, just to save money and stretch the dollar. But if you want yours extra cheesy, you can add the full 4 cups of cheese into your Alfredo. We're going to get this mixed up together and get all that cheese melted. And then we're going to separate our Alfredo and get ready to put our meals together. For the sake of this video, I'm going to take the time to divide my Alfredo into 4 separate jars, so you can see how much Alfredo you get with this, and each jar will go into our 4 meals that we're about to prepare. 1 to eat tonight and 3 to go in the freezer. 1 job, 4 meals. It's the best way to go, guys. It's the most efficient use of time. I was making this Alfredo anyway, times 4. I have made now 4 meals instead of just the one that we were going to have for supper tonight. So here are our jars. Here they are. We have 4 jars ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful Alfredo sauce, and really nice and creamy and good tasting. Just homemade the best way possible. And now it's time to put our meals together. I have already made one and put it in the casserole dish. That is going to be our supper for tonight. And I bought these silicone bags. This is my first time using them, so we're going to see how this goes. But first, of course, we take and we add our chicken first. 4 chicken breasts and half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. This is really easy, guys. It's just a few ingredients. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic on top of that. And then we're going to add in some frozen spinach. You can use fresh, but I just buy the frozen spinach. 1 package, which is 2 clumps of spinach. And then to top it all off, our homemade jar of Alfredo sauce. So 1 jar per dinner. And we put that in and away we go. Now, this is my first time using the silicone bags, so I'm really anxious to see how they work and how they turn out. If they turn out good, I certainly will be buying more because it's very economical, I guess, in the long run, and cost effective to just have these. They go straight from the freezer to the oven. I don't know how they do that voodoo magic with this silicone, but they do. So that's it, guys. There it is, our freezer meal. We're going to pop that in the freezer, and we're going to get our casserole out, boil up some linguine noodles, and voila, there it is. 1 delicious dinner. And I can tell you, they really enjoyed this. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and may God bless you, and we'll see you next time on Back to Basics with Mandy.